Hello, my name is The Big Man and I'm here at KC Jones, Ungarn United's newest sponsor, to interview the NPL men's head coach Marcel Minor. My name is The Big Man and I'm back with Marcel, or you may know him as your favourite COE coach, or even the guy that brought Ungarn United Football Club to win the Premiership in 2019. So Marcel, I know that you were born in Chile and you moved to Australia when you were 6. Did you play football before you moved here?
Yes, I did, Harry. I grew up in Santiago, in Chile, which is the capital, and I would often play soccer, football from very early in the morning till very late at night. That was one of the things that I often always looked forward to, because I think I may have gone to kindergarten, but that was about it. So a lot of time spent in the streets of Santiago playing football, mate.
When you came to Australia, was the footballing much different from here to when you first played in Chile?
Oh, very different. You know, here was really hard and fast and rough type of game, and over there where there was a lot more technical, and it was a lot about more about dribbling and being really creative. But there was a big difference. Over there we played on the streets, on concrete and on dirt, because we didn't have any grass fields over there. I was only really ever introduced to grass fields when I got to Australia.
Did that hurt your feet at all when you were playing on there?
Oh, look, we'd still play with shoes and sneakers and the like, but it was a different surface, and so we would have to adjust differently to controlling a ball and to not maybe sliding in on a tackle and, you know, having to keep our feet. So it was a little bit different.
Okay, who was your inspiration when you first worked up? Was it someone from Chile? Was it someone from Europe?
Look, my biggest inspiration, and always has been, is my dad. He was the one who showed me and introduced the ball to me and gave me the passion for football. As I grew up, I was able to become inspired by many of the players in the 90s. Many of maybe the viewers won't know this, but there was a player called Roberto Baggio, Carlos Valderrama, there was Pelé, Maradona, all of those, Johan Cruyff. They were all those players in that era that I grew up, that I really loved, and yeah, they were my inspiration after that. But primarily, it was my dad.
Did your dad ever play here in Australia?
He did for a little bit. Yeah, he did. He played. He was a left back, really quick, very different to me. I wasn't the quickest, but I was a very technical player, more technical than he was. But yes, no, he loved it. He loved it and loved to play.
If your dad was a left back, what position did you play?
Me?
Yeah.
I was a central midfielder. I started as what we now know as a number 10, a more creative midfielder. But as the years went on and the legs wore out, mate, I had to move back and play as a number 6, as a defensive midfielder.
Okay. What do you think about Australia winning the bid for the 2023 Women's World Cup?
I think it's fantastic. I think that it's going to really highlight the women's game here in Australia, more so than now. I know that the Matildas are a huge, they're a massive inspiration to all women in any sport, but I think it's going to become even bigger. And I can't wait to go and watch a few games. I can't wait to see, hopefully, the Matildas winning the World Cup, because I think that they're more than capable.
Okay, do you think, do you prefer coaching or actually playing? Because we all know you're the coach of the NPL
men's team, yeah. That's a tough question. It's a really tough one. But I prefer playing, because that's where I started. I started as a player, and I just loved that feeling of freedom on the pitch, being creative, having the teammates, winning games, scoring goals. So before I preferred playing, definitely, but now as time's gone on, I do really love coaching now though.
Is that because you can like change your game to how you think will suit them?
Yeah, but also to help development of players at any age, young, you know, or a little bit older. I love being involved in the development of a player, and if I can help that, then that makes me super proud.
What got you the idea to start the COE?
The idea with the COE was to develop players from a young age in a particular way. So our DNA is, you know, or the philosophy is about attacking players, attack-minded, being really creative, being really, aggressive in an attacking sense, and having the freedom to do whatever they want on the ball. That's the essence behind, you know, and providing young players with the chance to develop and the skills to love football.
So I know that you have kids now that also play football. Do you think you'll look at football differently now that you've got kids?
I don't think so, but maybe I will. I love to develop players, as I mentioned. However, watching my kids play might inspire me to do different things in football as well. So only time will tell.
What do you think would be, and do you have any inspirational words or people, any ideas for people coming up in the ranks of football?
I do. The inspiration I have for any young player is to really, you know, work hard, to really, you know, really listen to your coaches a lot, and anything's possible. The dream big. That's what I say to any young player. But also, you know, you have to have the commitment and dedication to get you there.
Okay, do you think, this is probably a hard question, but do you think inclusivity has changed and improved much since over the years?
Always changes, you know, as the times change. But I think it's super important to be inclusive in everything. You know, this is, you know, football, the way that I call football, is what we call the world game. And so it allows anyone of any race or of any background, you know, to be a part of it. Because all you need is maybe a can, you need a little rubber ball, and all you do is set up 2 goals somewhere, and you can have a football soccer game, you know. And so absolutely, it's changed a lot, but you know, it hasn't changed that much either.
What do you think would improve inclusivity and help the younger kids learn and want to be more engaged in football?
I think making sure that we provide the opportunities for them to play in any domain, and so and making it less costly for anyone, kids or adults. If fees came down a lot, it would allow and provide access to people to play football or soccer or maybe any sport easier.
What do you think is the biggest problem with youth involvement in the club and in football games?
The biggest problem with youth involvement would be that they're not enjoying it, that we're not creating the environment for them to enjoy it. And that's what we need constantly to work on. And part of that is providing players with the right tools to be able to love football, to enjoy themselves while they're participating in our sport. And so if we can do that, right, allow and provide the right environment for kids to have a lot of fun, or anyone to have a lot of fun, they're going to stay more engaged in our sport.
How do you think coronavirus has affected football globally?
I think it's affected everything globally. Football in particular, it's slowed us down a little bit, like it has a lot of sports. So, you know, and I think, but it's also worked in a positive way because it was taken away from us. So I think for a lot of people, a lot of players, it's allowed us to understand why we love it and why we want to be a part of it. So it's really important that, you know, that now we are rejuvenated and we show new love towards, you know, football.
Do you think we can strike back from this and help football improve?
Oh, absolutely. We will be striking back soon. Don't you worry. When all this is over, or as it slowly improves, we will strike back, and everything it'll never go back to normal. But I think we'll approach it in a different light. I think we'll focus on many different areas of football to make sure that that we keep safe, but that we're also providing the right access for players to continue to learn under these circumstances.
How do you think we're taking football for granted?
I think we can take football. I think we can take any sport for granted, and that's why I think it's important that we set up the right tools now to make sure that we don't lose that connection with football, and we provide our members, especially Gungahlin, with the right tools, to be able to stay connected to football.
How do you think the merchandise brand is going?
Oh, I think it's unbelievable. Look, I've got my new Umbro top that I bought, and I think that again that just connects us back to the club again. It makes us feel part of something bigger, and I think that our organisation is huge, and I look forward to showing off our badge, and look forward to promoting our club. So I think it's great.
Do you want people to get more involved with the club and have more people volunteering?
I would love to see more volunteers at the club, because we need tons of volunteers to make our club, tick and function. Because without the volunteers, Harry, we won't have a club as good as what we've got at the moment. Absolutely.
What do you think is the biggest problem with working around the club and trying to work through this coronavirus?
It's the social distancing, working through the coronavirus and making sure that we're doing the right things as per the government and the member federation regulations. Making sure that we are abiding by the rules is super important. And so if we stick to those guidelines, and we do the right thing, then I think we will be able to work around it and work through it.
What do you think was your goal when you were a kid, and what do you think kids nowadays should be striving for?
My goal was obviously to become a professional football player, and I think that kids need to strive, and I said to you before, to dream big. So whatever it is that you need to do in order to make your dreams come true, I think that's what you really need to go for, and set small goals so that you can achieve them, and then later achieve the bigger picture.
Okay, I think our viewers have learned a lot more about your life and what you think is important in football. Thank you for talking with me, Marcel.
Thank you, Harry. It was great to be on your show, and it was great to do this interview.
I hope football starts up really soon.
Me too. Thanks, Harry.